This video is made with the sponsorship of Ecrotech New Zealand, one source for all your beekeeping requirements. Hi, Trev here from Trevs Bees on Facebook and YouTube. 7th of December right at present, 2016, and we've got a colony of bees that have moved into this chimney, or swarm. Don't know how long they've been here. People who own the property have said that they noticed them last night or yesterday afternoon, so they think that they've only just arrived, and once I take this lid off, we'll find out what's going on. So as soon as I grabbed that board, I knew that there was a bit of weight there, and sure enough, there's a bunch of bees in here. The swarm's moved in. You can see already there's a couple of bits of comb that are starting to form, so that tells me that the bees have been here for at least 3-4 days. Takes them a little while to make a bit of comb. So I'm using my portable vacuum unit, vacuum bucket, and in this time I'm using the hard end that I've made up for my hose. This has got a more restrictive entry, so it's only 8 mils wide and about 25 mils long, cut off on a slight angle so I can get into some slightly tighter places. One of the advantages of using this hard tube that I've got on the end is that it gives me a bit more control over where I'm sucking and how deep I suck into the cluster of bees. So I just spend a bit of time going around taking little chunks of bees off. One of the advantages of the vacuum unit, as I've probably said before, is that every time you catch a bee, it goes into the bucket and then it doesn't fly again. Well, not at this stage. So we can see one small piece of comb there. Just to the right of it, where I'm working now, there's a second piece of comb. I got a swarm of bees out of this same chimney last season. I suggested to the owner of the property that they should get a little tin cover made so they can actually seal this up properly, and then they won't need to worry about bees getting into the property again. But it all costs money, I guess, so it hasn't been done. So free bees for me. I've found since I've been using this little extension piece that I've got on the end of my hose that I don't get as many dead bees from the vacuum unit. I can control them a bit more, and I'm only sending 1 or 2 bees up the tube at a time, as opposed to when I'm using the hose, I probably get 20 or 30 bees all trying to get sucked down the hose at the same time. So now that I've cleared the board, just have a quick check there to see that the hose is still sucking alright. I haven't got very much pressure on. So we're starting to make a bit of progress now. You can see there's a fair few flying bees, but these are mostly field bees that, when they've got returning back to their home, they've found that the doorway's not where they thought it was. So they're a little bit lost, these field bees at present. But we just persevere and keep going. And just down where I'm working now, you'll see there's a that's where the next course of concrete blocks are. And there's a little bit of a crack in there where that hasn't been plastered in properly when they were building the chimney. So they keep going into the little cavity in there, so I keep going back and sucking them out. But we're starting to make a fair bit of progress now. This whole job all up took 15 minutes from the time I got all the equipment up on the roof. Fortunately, they had another chimney from the log fire that they've got in the house that replaced this fireplace. And it was just at the right height that I was able to put my little GoPro camera on there, set it up, got it pointing in the right direction. And this is a lot easier to see, and I don't have all the jerky motions, and I'm not getting in the way of it like I have in other videos that I've made. So one of the things I've learned with the GoPro camera is, rather than wear the camera, which is convenient at times, it can also be a bit of a pain, because either I get in the way of it, or it's not pointing in the right direction, or when I had it on my head as a head unit, the camera moved too fast and you got seasick watching the film. As you can see now, the bee quantity is, the airborne ones are significantly reduced. What you're also not seeing is that every now and again I have stopped doing the vacuuming and I wait for a little while, and then when a few more bees get and settle down on the brickwork, on the chimney, I then start up and start sucking again. Just like that, for the magic of editing. So I'll take the opportunity now just to clean that little bit of comb off. Have a look at that piece that I've got in my hand now, and I actually find that there is one solitary egg in there. So I left that piece of comb with the owners of the property so they could show the kids. This is about the 4th swarm I've collected from this house over the last 2 years, this year and last year. So it's been quite a profitable little relationship that I've built up with these people, both for me and for them. Every time I get a swarm of bees from them, I leave them a pot of honey. Something that everyone should do. If you leave the people a pot of honey, they're thankful for it, and you're the first one that they will call next time that they get a swarm. And apart from that, they tell all their friends. Well, that's just about the sucking up job. Have a check in the other hole there. Nothing in that chimney. So I'm just about going to call this quit. Put all the stuff back together again, and I'll head for home and deal with the bees. Alright, we're back in our bee yard where all my nukes are. You can see on that comb there, it's some strips of wax, and then I've just glued them together with a bit of beeswax and a soldering iron. So I tip the bees in, Replace all the frames. And that's it. Job's done. So that's it from Trevs Bees on Facebook and YouTube. And we'll catch you around with another swarm or somewhere in the beehive.